Yes, we are live.
Perfect.
Okay, we are live. I'm very happy to welcome Miss Riya Gupta, a third year law student of BA, BBA LLB honors from National Law University, Jodhpur. She is the winner of Samahar's mediation. Okay.
I'm sorry, you're not audible anymore.
Now there won't be overlapping. Okay, she's the winner of mediation competition, Sama's mediation competition 2025. So we are going to ask her about her journey of becoming a winner and to get to know about more about what's her passion in her life and how it's possible for her to be a winner. So without no further delay, I'll ask the first question to Riya Gupta. Riya Gupta, you can also introduce yourself to the audience. And
Mm.
how are you feeling as a winner of the mediation competition? Over to you.
Firstly, thank you so much for that introduction. I'm Riya, as you've introduced me. I've just started my third year here at NLU Jodhpur. This was my second formal mediation competition, and honestly, winning it is, to be honest, is extremely surprising. The whole thing feels very surreal. I don't think I walked into the competition thinking about winning. I think I just, wanted to have an experience. I think what makes this particular competition a little more meaningful is the timing that it has. Um, a month and a half ago, I actually lost my younger brother in an accident. So this has been one of the most hardest phases in my life, something that I never thought I would have to experience. But I would say that I'm so thankful to Samahar, to NLU Delhi, New Foundation for this competition because preparing for it gave me something to hold on to, as a form of distraction. It gave me a direction when everything just felt very scattered in that moment. So, for me, at least right now, this winning wasn't even just about the title, which I'm extremely grateful for, obviously, but it feels like a reminder that when life gets so difficult at times, it is important to try and show up for yourself and stay committed and, try to make something positive out of this chaos. And that is basically what I'm trying to do. But it was genuinely one of the greatest experiences in my life, having to conversate with people from so many different walks of life, the judges who gave us brilliant feedback at the end of every session, having to stay committed to the laptop every 2 hours because the results would come out and immediately we'd have to join the session. It definitely was. It was a grounding experience, and it was very, very different from what I had expected. I'm very grateful for it.
Yes, Riya, knowing about the tragedy that has happened in your life, it really, I'm sorry for that, whatever you have gone through. So stay strong. Whatever had happened, as you already mentioned, this competition gave you a ray of hope to withstand whatever you are and how to. It's helped you as a coping up mechanism. So I
Yeah.
would say so. Uh, Never give up. That's what I feel. Life can throw very hard situation at times, but I can understand the pain. Nobody can understand your pain more than you, but still we are standing there for you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you. I truly
let's
appreciate it.
let's connect more in future also for your growth.
Mhm.
We are there, YCM is there. And
Thank you.
also you also already answered my second question, to share a little about your background and
Yeah.
what drew mediation to you. So background you already gave me,
Mhm.
but yeah, over to you. You can
Definitely.
share it.
So I grew up outside India. I grew up in UAE. I spent about 17 years of my life over there as well. I wrote CLAT. I got into National Law University, Jodhpur, and I've been here ever since then. Ever since I was in, I think, ninth or 10th grade, I've been very interested in spaces where people come together to talk about things rather than fighting things out. I think being the elder daughter in the family, that role of a mediator sometimes does fall on me in the most, normal ways in a family discussion and whatnot. But that being said, knowing that mediation is a formal platform, that knowledge was given to me by my university. We have ADR programs through which we get the opportunity to be the mediator. We have the opportunity to uh, have the conversation with so many of our peers, get some sort of a ranking out of it, and then get allocated competitions. So I think formally I got the idea and know about what mediation is through my college. But once I started out competitions, my first one being the NLU, the IN ADR competition, which is in NLIU Bhopal. I think that was my first formal experience of mediation. But through it, I realized that if litigation isn't the choice, there is always another platform for people to come onto and resolve their I would say not problems, but resolve similar interests that both of them have, which just move in different directions at a completely different place where both of them are heard equally. I enjoy the fact that this process is so client driven that everyone gets a chance to speak their mind and say whatever it is that they want to say in a manner that is both feasible and understandable to both the parties. So I believe that is definitely what drew me to mediation. The fact that you realize that it's about words, it's about listening, it's about empathy that makes everything feel so much more better. That is what drew me to mediation. So honestly, I believe that for me, in a way, it's a way of practicing that sort of empathy and helping people preserve their relationships even when it comes to conflicts. I think you're mute, sorry.
Yeah, I was on mute. Very good. I got a full idea about how mediation drew you.
Hmm.
I got the clarity, I got the background, and it's very good that you're constantly in participating in mediation competition, gaining the experience and gaining the taste of mediation.
Hmm.
So that's very nice. And the next question. What was the most challenging moment during the competition, the Samahas competition, and how did you navigate it?
Right. I believe any other mediator who has participated in these competitions could relate to me on this particular challenge that I faced. But I believe there was one of the rounds where the parties wouldn't move forward in terms of what they wanted with regards to a particular agenda. So they kept circling back to the same point, and it at that moment it felt like we were getting nowhere with the discussion. Especially with a limited period of time, it's a little difficult to cover all the agendas, all the interest points of the parties, even though they feel so deeply about it. So, as a mediator, that's a very tough position to be in because you're supposed to play neutral, and also you don't want the conversation to spiral. So, in that moment, I reminded the parties that it is necessary to maybe slow down for a bit, and rather than moving in circles about what the issue was, but to look at what was underneath their words. Now, given that this mediation was more related to family and matrimonial disputes, when the parties involved were parents who have a common interest when it comes to their child, I reminded them that it isn't about, who is taking care of the child better, but more about how is the child's interest being highlighted. So in that moment, it gave them that space to maybe take a step back, park that particular agenda or table that particular agenda for that moment and maybe put it on for the next meeting and move on to the next possible discussion about the agendas. So I think in that way, the energy in the room definitely shifted from the circling that we were doing again and again around the same agenda points. So I think in that moment, it was patience and taking a step back that helped us reevaluate the whole situation and take a better direction in it, definitely. But emotionally speaking, I believe that was a hard phase in my life. It still is a hard phase in my life. So emotionally, obviously, that burden was constantly on me. But I think because of that tragedy, it made me even more patient in that scenario because it felt like these conflicts are very less in comparison to what tragedies people can face. So it's better that people are voicing out their concerns, their interests on the table because that shows that they have that love for each other. So in that moment, that was a tough moment, but we were able to save the situation from there and have enough time to cover other agenda points and other interests as well.
Super. Very mature answer, Riya. So, you again, the ability to navigate that tough situation, the tragedy even helped you to navigate, you're saying, and it It gave you a lot of patience. As a
Yeah,
mediator, definitely one should definitely have patience in life. Only then he or she can be a better mediator and the best mediator. So I totally
100.
agree the answer that you gave. And the next question is, how did you prepare for the competition? Any strategies that you want to give to the upcoming people, upcoming students who are preparing for the competition? I think this is one of the important question that any student who is going to watch this recording, they will take us a take back. Over to you.
Definitely. Thank you so much for that. I think that is something that I was also looking for when I was participating in this competition. So my preparation was definitely a mix of more technical as well as personal work that I was doing. On the technical side, I spent some time to break every prop that I was trying to go through and divide them into the main agendas which I could think the parties could bring up. So one major suggestion I would give at this point is for any mediators out there is that it's extremely important to read the prop and understand and be in character of the parties that are involved. Because in that moment, although you're playing a neutral, impartial character, which is extremely important, it is also important that the people who are coming in front of you are people who have very major interests. So once you understand where their situation is coming from, I think at that point you can delve into the two major things, which is what are the good things that this conversation can take us, and what are certain turbulences or certain breaks that might roadblocks that we might face. So I believe breaking down the prop, especially talking with my coaches from college, talking with the rest of my team as well, and just having as many practice rounds as possible so we could cover any and every avenue that could possibly arise, so that nothing came in the moment that was extremely surprising. So practice, obviously, number one, extremely important. And number two, breaking down the prop as much as possible. And number three, trying to come up with every possible roadblock that can occur. There can be times where the parties call for a caucus when there's only 3, 4 minutes left, and it's a difficult situation. There may be a time when emotions get extremely hostile and the situation becomes a little hostile. So it's important for the mediator to step in. And of course, there is a third time where everyone's moving in circles, like I had mentioned in my previous answer. So, in that moment, it's extremely important that you prepare yourself well in advance, or at least know what you can say in that moment to step in to maybe stop the break at that moment and ask the parties to take a step back and again have that patience and revisit it maybe later. So, that are the main three strategies I would suggest.
Superb. It's definitely a tip for all the people, all the students who are preparing for competition. How she won, how she won. People will be curious, and you're very happily you're giving the tip, and that's also very good. Definitely, I think the students who are watching this video, maybe somewhere in future also, maybe 2, 3 years, they will go back to Riya Gupta's live and
Of course.
pick it up. It would be great tip. It is a great tip actually. Yes. Owen, coming to after this question, this is going to be the, final part. We came to the final part of the session. YCM offered 50% scholarship to Riya Gupta for winning the mediation competition. And YCM offered its IMI certified International Mediation Institute certified training program, mediation training program. So she already a winner, but after completing this course, Riya Gupta will become an IMI qualified mediator. It will pave the path to build her career as a mediator. So YCM is very happy to kickstart Riya Gupta's mediation journey. And yes, Riya Gupta, following this question, what are your expectations from the course?
Right. Firstly, thank you so much for recognizing my potential and providing me with this discount. I'm extremely grateful for it. As these competitions go by, I realize that mediation is definitely a part of my law journey that I want to pursue professionally as well. So that being said, I'm extremely grateful. I believe my main expectation from this course is to deepen my skills beyond just the competition setting. I think competitions will teach you how to come up with strategies under pressure, but I want to take this, a step further and understand how mediations can work in the real world with real practice, real people, emotions, and consequences, and all of that. So that being said, I also hope that this course, besides obviously the IMI certification, which is definitely a win, but also it will, I hope it gives me more tools to balance this feelings of empathy, neutrality, and structure. So how to stay human and compassionate, but also manage the process as efficiently as possible. So I think that is my major expectations from the course. It's not just technical, but more about how to come out as a more grounded, empathetic, more confident mediator in the sense. So definitely, those are my major expectations, and I'm sure this course will meet all of them. Thank you for it again.
Thank you, Riya. Thank you for sharing this. Adding to this, since I asked your expectation, definitely post completion, I'll be asking what you learned or what is your key takeaway. So I'm
Mhm.
waiting to take that note from you. What is your expectation and what you have now achieved. So with that, let's time to close. Thank you, Riya, for your time, for giving us live interaction session with YCM and the interaction for the future people, future students who are passionate about mediation and who wants to take part. This live is definitely helpful for them to know more about mediation competition, how to win in mediation competition. It will be very helpful for all those audience. So thank you, Ria, once again, and stay strong once again, and all the best. See you soon.
That's
Bye.
fine. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Yeah.